We the lazy declare that we will recline when we feel inclined. And yes, we feel inclined.
We answered our kids' questions all day. It's our time to prioritize, no priorities.
Why?
Because
We put in back-to-back doubles, so now we'll be putting in extra OT right here.
We've checked off our to-do list.
Now we're checking off our to-don't list.
We the lazy are taking back lazy.
By getting comfy on our Lazy Boy furniture.
Lazy Boy. Long live the lazy.
How you doing, everybody? I'm Chief Meteorologist Denis Phillips. Heat's still the hot topic of weather conversation, right? Just smashed the previous record for rainfall in Tampa. Still a very nice day. We've got some clouds out there, even a couple of sprinkles as another front rolls through the area. Most of us wake up to sunshine and then very warm temperatures in the afternoon. For temperatures, they're going up and they're staying up. Really nice forecast, especially if you're planning on going to the beach or the pool. Rain chances very slim. It's another beautiful day in store. It's going to bring us a very high chance of storms. Some isolated showers across the area. Mother Nature likes to remind us that it isn't set by a calendar. We're always on it for you, just in case things begin to pop.
Streaming from the ABC Action Weather Center in Studio A. This is Denis Phillips Live, sponsored by Lazy Boy Furniture Galleries. Level up your lazy moments. Visit one of our 6 Bay Area showrooms today. Lazy Boy, long live the lazy.
How you doing, everybody? Thursday night edition of Denis Phillips Live. Hope you've had a good week. We've definitely had our warmer temperatures. They're going to stick around for 2 more days. But look at what's going on out in the Gulf. And we said this on Tuesday that this was going to kind of mirror our summertime pattern. I'll go ahead and jump right in. I'll kind of show you what's going on, because even though in the summertime the water temperature is warm, you still kind of have the same impact. You get warmer air relative to the colder water of the Gulf over inland areas, and those areas that are inland, that air rises and it's filled in from the air coming in off the Gulf. That's what your sea breeze actually is. And whether the Gulf is 85 and the air is 95, or the Gulf is 60 and the air is 80, you still have that contrast. So when you have enough moisture like we do right now, you get some scattered showers popping up. So the majority of the time in the summer, when you look at these showers, the bulk of them are right along I-75 and east, right? But there is some out in the Gulf, and they are moving onshore. So there you see it. I mean, taking a closer look, you can kind of see a few showers from south of Clearwater, you know, around the Feather Sound area, up toward Clearwater, up toward Dunedin. There's another area of rain offshore, and that's going to move onshore. At least it looks like it. Anywhere from Hudson, or rather Holiday, Tarpon Springs, Palm Harbor. And watch this. Let's not even do the last, let's just do the last 30 minutes, actually. Here we go. So there's the last 30 minutes. And it does look like a lot of these are moving more south to north. So you can see the main stuff offshore might stay just a little bit offshore as they're moving off to the north. Kind of see the track is kind of like that. So at the very least, I mean, I think eventually it could move on somewhere. Coastal Pasco, northern Pinellas, less across central Pinellas, but still, you are looking at some rain there. And temperatures right now, anywhere from the low to mid 70s. Devin doing our hellos with a more of an intimate group. You know, we always get flooded with people when there's a lot going on with weather, when there's severe weather, when there's a front coming, when there's a freeze on the way. Obviously, when there's a tropical system, we get inundated. But we still have our core folks out. Jules, thanks for the update. Bolts are tied at 1. Steve, how you doing? Good to see you. Kathy, nice to see you. Dave, same as always. Dominic in Newport Richie. Lilman's in the house with Mary. Linda, we are getting that El Nino break, although the change in temperatures is also indicative of an El Nino, so we're kind of getting that as well. Peggy, good to see you. Your sister Elise and you are tuning in from the Caribbean. Abby's in the Caribbean. Were you on a cruise, or were you just traveling in the Caribbean via plane. My wife's cousin, I think, she is actually on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship now in the Caribbean as well. Can't remember the name of the ship that she's on. Countryside's in the house with Beth. How you doing? Andrea, nice to see you. We've got Haley. Yep, another El Nino front, but I do feel very strongly that starting toward the end of next week and the following week, I think we're going to be back into more of our moisture and rain coming in off the Gulf. We'll show you that coming up in just a couple of minutes. Crystal in Largo. Yeah, Mary, I left my sweatshirt at home again. It's sitting on the couch. I was running around because I was running late because somebody in Duke Energy, this is the third time this has happened. Somebody in Duke, twice in the last 3 years, and this is the third, has come out of our house and said, we got to cut down some trees because of the power lines. I'm like, guys, you did this last year. You cut down 10 trees last year. So you're telling me that there's more trees now than there were a year ago? So anyway, I was getting ready to go to work, and I got that person knocking on my door. Oh, we got to cut down some of your trees. I'm like, oh, man. I mean, pretty soon we're going to have no trees left. So I was kind of in a mood already coming into work because I used to have this really, nice lot in the back with lots of trees and everything, and now they're just slowly but surely picking them all off one at a time. Anyway, so I was running late, and I forgot my sweatshirt. That was the moral of that story. Crystal in Largo, how you doing? We've got Gary. Good to see you in Winter Haven. Checking in from Denise's Lanai poolside, as we often see in the summertime. Yeah, no, again, Jules, the hoodie's MIA. Actually, it's not MIA. It's just sitting on my couch. Bobby, how you doing? Nokomis is in the house. Balmy Nokomis, no less, with Cheryl. Dundee with Sue. And Peggy is in shorts and a tee. That's what I would be in if I could, because literally when I get home, that is what I wear 99.9% of the time. So how are you, Janet? Good to see you as well. Priscilla in Frostproof. And Christopher in Wesley Chapel that WC is representing. So, oh yeah, treat night is tonight. Treat night is just, I will tell you, treat night is having a tough go of it. It used to be a thing. It used to be a glorious thing to look forward to on Thursdays, but treat night is now just, it's having some issues. So Deb with Hudson, how goes it? Janet, good to see you. And watching from the Bluffs. Carol's watching from the Bluffs. I'm assuming that's Bel Air Bluffs. Dunedin with Vicky. Today was beautiful, Amy. Sarasota's in the house with Nancy and with Winter Haven. Kathy, Brooksville as well with Tiffany. So Terry in Brooksville as well. Citrus Park. Jorge, you still have not answered, Jorge. Is it Jorge or George? I want to know. I do want to know. So anyway, we got lots of folks here. Beverly Hills in the house with Joe Ellen. Kids go back to Eckert on Monday, so says Tracy. Maine is in the house. Sharon with Maine. Haines City, Latoya. NPR, Newport Richie, Gina. Elfers is also watching with Martha. So again, lots and lots of folks. Kimberly West Chase, Wanda Palm Harbor, Odessa Michelle, Bradenton Yvonne, Gulf Harbors Kim. All right, let's get into what's going on with the actual forecast, all right? Jump back in here. The Green Swamp is in the house with Sherry. Valentina, Tarpon, and Sean is here. Sean is aching for his 540 line. So we will show you that in just a minute because it is getting closer. James, how you doing, James? Our golfing pro from East Lake Woodlands. Christy in Largo. Janet, we're getting lots and lots of hellos. They continue to climb. James says James. Patty in Inverness. All right, temperatures today in the upper 70s to the lower 80s. Outside right now, by the way, I'm going to mention something else that I just noticed that happened. This shows you how things have changed. And I wonder, so I was looking at a basketball score a couple of minutes ago. I was showing up on Twitter why I bring this up, because you wonder how the new age of sports will be impacting the technology that's out there. So there was a game. It was Elon and Campbell. Don't know anything about it. But I noticed on Twitter that midway through halftime, they actually changed the score of a goaltending that was 3 minutes before the end of the half. So 15 minutes after it happened, they changed the score, and the other team was winning at half, as opposed to the one team that was winning. I think Elon was winning and then Campbell was winning. That begs to wonder how that stuff's going to happen. And with all the new sports wagering stuff that's going on nationwide, you wonder if you're going to start hearing stories about that coming up far more often than others. I've been reading a lot about that on Twitter, and I've been seeing stories. I don't think Elon or Campbell are either one in Florida. I have no idea where they are. Maybe the Carolinas. I really have no idea. But I found that fascinating that 15 minutes after the fact, they change a score that has an impact on who's winning at half. And I found that very fascinating, considering we're now legalized in Florida as well. Yeah, I thought that was really crazy. Yeah, if you go and look at it, Elon and Campbell, literally, there was a goaltending 3 minutes before the end of the half, and they changed it midway through the halftime. So instead of Elon winning by 1 at half, Campbell was, and that totally changed who had bet the first half of the game. Both are in North Carolina. Thank you, Carol. So anyway, inquiring minds want to know. There's a look at the radar. You are seeing some showers. Oh, go Lions. Is one of those teams the Lions, Mike? I don't know. Or are you just rooting for the Lions against the Niners this weekend? I would think that might be more likely, but doesn't that sound kind of fishy to you? Sounds kind of fishy to me. It sounds really fishy to me, but whatever. Anyway, there's a look at the rain coming into Pinellas County and Pasco County. I'm gonna actually go back and zoom into that a little bit. See where these rain, since we actually do have some rain to show. All right, so there it is. Let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. So there is some rain from Tarpon Springs, Palm Harbor, Dunedin, Ozona, Crystal River, Clearwater over to Safety Harbor. And like I said, the last 15 minutes, this has kind of been moving more, not due north, certainly more northeast, which is why I think this is eventually going to be moving into Newport Richey, Holiday. Yeah, let's go ahead and do a little tracking on this. So if this hangs together, and I kind of think it will, there's some of the showers moving into Newport Richey, Jasmine Estates, Bayonet Point, Shady Hills at 8:30. So there is some of the rain that is falling. No lightning with it, as I see, although there are some showers inland too. Same thing going. Up in eastern Hernando, northeastern Pasco, southeastern Citrus County, moving into Sumter County, Bushnell, and Lacoochee. I believe it is Bushnell. Some people say Bushnell, but I think it's like the locals call it Bushnell, just like some locals call it Pinellas instead of Pinellas. But anyway, there's that going, and that also should be moving pretty much, to the northeast. So if we do a little tracking on this one as well, there's some of the spots, the villages, and getting some rain in Clearwater right now, says Nancy. So yeah, I was looking at the drought numbers that came out, and they have not changed any from last week. You would expect they would not have changed any because we haven't had any rain, but I mean, this time of the year, it takes a little bit more for the moisture to evaporate away because you don't get as much heat. So yeah, there it is. There's a look at the rain, or rather the rain coming in. There's your drought numbers. Continues to lift off to the northeast. People want to know about tomorrow and about Gasparilla. Well, let's talk about that in a second. El Nino is not over, Renee. Far from it. Far from it. We will be talking about that coming up in just a minute. Outside right now, mid to upper 70s. Lakeland 79, Plant City 76. Highs today, we hit the low to middle 80s. Still cloudy with some showers around the area. Low to mid 70s. All right, Wanda, thank you for the stars. As always, the star donations go toward Children's Miracle Network. We've been doing a lot more with Feeding Tampa Bay as well. By the way, we just posted some new Valentine's Day stuff on our Etsy page. Proceeds are going to Children's Miracle Network. Proceeds are going to Feeding Tampa Bay and Children's Miracle Network. We just made a donation to both. We continue to, luckily, our Scripps Foundation, who owns our parent company, does a lot of matching on our donations. So it's kind of nice. They match up to $1,250 per every 6 months. So if I put in a $1,250 donation, they do put in another $1,250, and the same thing for the second half of the year. I say that because all of our Valentine's Day Snuggle Alert stuff is on the site, and for Valentine's Day, I cannot think of a better thing than either a Snuggle Alert candle or a Snuggle, and look, you have different types of candles as well. Clean cotton, sea salt, and orchid. The lavender is sold out. Apple harvest, the cinnamon vanilla is sold out. They've been selling well. And proceeds benefit, again, Feeding Tampa Bay and Children's Miracle Network. And the reviews, as always, have been spectacular. Snuggle Alert tumblers, Snuggle Alert coffee mugs for men and women. You have a blue one and a pink one. So see, there's your pink one, there's your black one. So you can get either masculine or feminine, and all for your sweetie for Valentine's Day. Go on the Etsy site and you will see them. And as I mentioned, again, proceeds benefit Children's Miracle Network and Feeding Tampa Bay. All right. So thank you, James. I appreciate it. Very kind. It is a family love of ours. It is a family passion. All the kids help out and all the fundraising, and it really is. It's turned into, and it started with my son doing a little mini hot chocolate stand for a school project at his elementary school. And we just we figured, well, we have a large audience, a large draw. And the hot chocolate then turned into tumblers with roll number 7 stuff, which we did all at our home. Honestly, it got so big, we actually had to get a place to do it for us now because we just can't keep up with it. So instead of the turnaround time being 4 to 6 weeks, because we do it all ourselves, the turnaround time is 5 to 7 days. So it's way faster. And hopefully the quality is just as good. You know, when we were up till 4 o'clock in the morning, every single morning doing that, we were good with it because it was for charity, but it took so much of our time that we had to farm it out a little bit. So we still do a lot of the stuff at home, but we've started to farm some stuff out as well to get it there faster, which will be helpful for, again, for Valentine's Day. And it was certainly helpful for Christmas, I'll tell you that. All right, let's go on back. The UK's in the house with Nicola or Nicola? Which is it? I still want to know if it's Jorge. Is it Jorge or George, or is it Nicola or Nicole? All right, so anyway, there's a look at the rain coming in, and with this southwest to northeast flow, it continues tomorrow. So you'll wake up tomorrow to warm and muggy conditions. There will be some fog. That fog is something that I'm not overly concerned about it. I'm not overly concerned about the fog, but Saturday morning, I think there will be some patchy fog as well. Now, typically before a front comes, you get the winds pick up, and typically you see the fog start to dissipate. Not a lot of wind expected on Saturday for the boaters, and I say that because of the invasion. So I'm a little concerned of some patchy fog in the first half of Saturday in the bay, and that could be an issue for the boating for the pirate invasion. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal. It won't be a deal for the parade because whatever fog's out there is going to burn off by about 11 or 12, or even earlier than that, truthfully, 10. So it should not be a problem. I don't look for widespread fog. I don't think there'll be a dense fog advisory. But if you're going out in a boat Saturday and you're planning on partaking in the invasion, check the conditions out on the water in the morning. Jason will be in on Saturday morning. I'll be updating on social media as well. It won't be a problem for the parade route. It could be a little bit of an issue for boaters. And so that's, if you are going out on a boat for the invasion, I've never done it. I was going to do it last year. We rented a boat. We were going to do it. We ended up going skiing instead. I'm a little scared about going out with 1,000 people this close to each other. And even though it shouldn't be, alcohol is going to be tremendously involved. And you just wonder about it. So I've never had the guts to do it yet. I know people who have and loved it. And I'm sure it would be fun if I was with an experienced skipper and someone who, handled that kind of thing. But I'm not used to boating with people literally right next to you the entire time. But luckily, winds aren't going to be a huge issue. So I don't think you're going to have to worry too much about that. The fog is something that I would be at least cognizant of in the morning. And yes, Denise, we did get our dining room back. Yes, we did. So that's a plus too. All right. So tomorrow afternoon, warm and muggy, a few scattered showers, just like we had today. Not very many. Most of them will be inland. Bradenton's in the house with Karen. How you doing? So there is a look I'm not sure what comment you're referring to, James. Maybe my comment of be careful out in the water with, I don't know. I don't know. I have lots of comments, and most of them are useless. We all know this. All right, so there's a look at your Saturday morning. Again, some patchy fog. Hey, you know what? Let me call up a map here while we're looking at it. Let's call up the visibility map. All right, so here's a visibility map for tomorrow morning. Not too bad at all. Some spots inland, a mile, mile and a half, mile and 3/4. Not a huge, huge issue. So that's good. And in terms of Saturday, it doesn't go out that far. We have a map that does go out, but I think let's see how far it goes out. Yeah, it only goes out, but look at that. Look at Friday night. Look at Friday night at 7:30. See how that fog's starting to come in from the Gulf? See that? So that is a little, concerning is too strong of a word, but I will tell you, I have been out in the Gulf one time when I got caught with my pants down, so to speak, and not literally, figuratively, and there was some fog that came in more than I thought would, and I will tell you, it is scary. You're out in the Gulf, and it's pea soup stuff, and you can't see more than 50 feet ahead of you. It is a scary thing. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to happen on Saturday, but when you do look at the models that show, look at the last couple of frames here. Look, here, can I zoom into this? I can, if I take it out of show mode. I'm going to do that just because I want to show you this. So watch. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in here. I'm going to put a set point, which is going to completely screw up the show, but I won't save this. So watch. So look at this. Look, there's Friday afternoon, Friday night. It only goes as far out as 7:30. I don't think I can go out farther. Let me see if it lets me go out 48 hours. I don't think the map goes that far, but we can try it. Actually, it does. It does. So look, so this takes us through Saturday morning. And look at Saturday morning, 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Then it starts to burn off by about 9 or 10. See that? Oh, this is great. This is a good thing to do. So you do have some, if you're going out very early on Saturday for the invasion, you're probably going to run into fog between about 6 a.m. and maybe 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. And then it looks like it will start to, by about 9, it starts to go away. All right? So there you go. That's actually pretty useful. That was a useful bit of time as opposed to most of the stuff that I do that is borderline useless. So anyway, all right, rainfall. Rainfall. Hey, look at Thursday. It was right on the money. Friday, a few scattered showers. Saturday should be a nice day, warm, muggy, and a chance of a few more showers on Sunday. Then the front comes through, and then Monday we clear out and we cool off pretty dramatically. All right? Temperatures on Saturday will stay in the low 80s. Sunday, we transition with the front coming through. And on Monday, we're back to a high of about 60 degrees. So people are asking about El Nino. All right, well, there's your boating conditions, by the way. Dense fog, patchy dense fog. Southeast winds 5 to 10 knots tomorrow. There are your tides. Your sunrise 7:20, sunset 6:05. Mostly cloudy skies. Water temperature about 62 degrees. Your forecast hour by hour, partly to mostly cloudy, warm and muggy through the overnight. There's the 7-day. 82 on Friday, 80 on Saturday, 71 on Sunday, and then low 60s on Monday, mid 60s Tuesday, back up to around 70 by the middle of the week. All right, now, let's look at the long range stuff. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and look at the national picture, and we'll look at the southeast later. There is tomorrow, Friday morning, Saturday morning, Sunday morning, your 540 line, your freezing line, still across the Appalachians, not so much in the deep south. Makes it as far south as the Carolinas, North Carolina. And then you get some snow flurries around the Great Lakes. But what I want you to watch is what's going on in the Gulf next week. This is Wednesday, this is Thursday, this is next Friday. The end of next week, we start to look for some changes. What are those changes? Well, we look and see if the ridge starts to give way that's been giving us our nice weather, and we see a return to more trophy conditions, which very often lead to unsettled weather in the south. You get a low move through, and then you get something else right behind it. And that is what appears to be developing again. See another front digging in? So the point is, I've been saying this now for about 2 or 3 days, I think the end of next week, next weekend, and then the following couple of weeks, we're going to be back in this wet pattern with El Nino. There's tomorrow morning. There is Saturday morning, the front still hanging in the panhandle. There it comes. Sunday morning, it gets weaker as it gets here. Some showers around Sunday morning. Monday morning, clear out, sunny and chilly. Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning, next Saturday morning, and then next Sunday, potential low pressure in the Gulf. It's way, way too early to talk about details on that. When you look at the GFS or any model 10 days out, it's kind of fantasy land. But at least for the time being, the main rain area continues in the Gulf, Louisiana, through the mid-Atlantic. There's your main rain area. For us, we're right on the fringe of any kind of rain. So I honestly think the next week will be mostly dry, just as the last week has been dry. Carrie in Newport Richey, how you doing? So next week will be, and bringing up next week, the sun will go AWOL. Let's talk about that. It will not. Next week is going to be a nice week with lots of sunshine. It'll be sunny and cold on Monday. It'll be sunny and chilly on Tuesday. It'll be sunny and seasonal on Wednesday, around 70. Thursday and Friday, we're back up a little bit above average with a good deal of sunshine. So it's going to be a nice week next week. But I think at the end of the week, the end of the weekend, truthfully, we're like, not this weekend, next weekend, about 10 days out, the long-range models seem to be showing a transition back to more of a wet pattern. So, which, you know what, if we can get a little more rain, now, hopefully it will not be an issue for the Savannah Bananas game on Friday, February 9th, because I ended up getting tickets for that to bring the daughter and some of the fam. Tickets are so hard to get, like almost impossible to get. So, and last year, if you went, it poured, absolutely poured. It was miserable. There was a delay for about an hour and a half. So, yeah, it was pretty miserable. James, you're going on a cruise with your wife on Monday. Oh, it's going to be awesome. The weather will be beautiful. The weather will be beautiful, James. So enjoy. You deserve it. All right, so let's go back real quick. We're off in about a minute. We're going to take one last look at the rain that's falling out there. There is some rain now from around Safety Harbor, Oldsmar area, up toward Palm Harbor, Tarpon Springs, Holiday. That will move on shore. Bayonet Point, Newport Richey, you're going to see some of it. Also some rain going on in eastern Hillsborough County and Polk around Willow Oak, south of Willow Oak, and then north across Sumter County, Bushnell, Floral City and Citrus County, and eastern Hernando County. And then some decent rains actually up in Levy County going on as well. So there it is. That is a look at what's going on. So you guys have a wonderful evening. Have a great weekend. Be safe for Gasparilla. I will not be partaking. Ryan has softball Saturday and Sunday. So there you go. But have a great time. Tomorrow, enjoy the warm temperatures. Saturday, enjoy the warm temperatures. And then cooler weather returns by early next week. You guys have a great night. We'll see you on our next version of DPL. Is it a version? Or is it a episode? Which actually would it be? I guess an episode. Anyway, you guys have a good night, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.
We the lazy declare that we will recline when we feel inclined. And yes, we feel inclined.
We answered our kids' questions all day. It's our time to prioritize, no priorities.
Why?
Because
We put in back-to-back doubles. So now we'll be putting in extra OT right here.
We've checked off our to-do list.
Now we're checking off our to-don't list.
We the lazy are taking back lazy.
By getting comfy on our lazy boy furniture.
Lazy Boy, long live the lazy.